Hey folks, and welcome to my thoughts on a book. And today's book is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way by Stan Lee and John Buscema. And also a bunch of other pencilers and inkers have contributed to this. I will leave their names down below in the description. Alright, so this is the first art or how to draw book that I've ever read. It was quite interesting to read such a thing. And it's also quite an old one. It's been written in the 70s. Stan Lee, as he tells in the introduction, had this idea, for years, but he was always too busy. And then he met John. He went to a class that John Buscema was doing. And that's when the idea, started to, not the idea, that's when they went for it. Stanley thought, it's a shame that we can't share, all this knowledge with a lot more people than just this select number of students that go to your course. And thus, this book was born, and apparently it's been used a lot since. I actually seen it in Kamikaze, and it was recommended. And people seem to talk about it, so I thought, let's try. I mainly wanted it to learn how to draw figures, like this, superhero figures. Since I do draw a lot of superheroes, but mine look like noodles. So that's why. So that's the main reason I got it. But still, the rest of what's inside was also very interesting. Alright, let's start. So, I love this cover, I have to say. Really cool. Alright, Dr. Doom. Never a smile on that tin face. Alright. So, this book is narrated by Stan Lee. May he rest in peace. And it made it so much fun to read. Something, I don't know, in Stan Lee's, I don't know, narrating tone, if you will. I need to be careful. Alright, so we have our introduction, which was really charming and funny. I may be sorry I never got to have a conversation with Stan Lee. If only I was sorry. If only I was born a lot later or got into comics a lot earlier. But oh well, it is what it is. Let's put it like that. It was a bit hard to hold while reading because it's so big. Right, so we have here, the contents. They talk about, the tools you'll need, the forms mainly, but you need to start with stick figures. And then how you need to build simple shapes on things, because things mainly have spheres, cubes, and what was the third one? Cylinders. And then we go, on the last bit we get to inking and figures and placing and points of view. There's a lot of good information. Let me just here. Okay, maybe like this. And I have to hold it though. So you can see they show you all the tools you'll be needing, and they talk about this ink, India ink. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Now, mind you, this was written in the 70s, so maybe some things don't fit anymore, or something like that. But yeah, Stanley is great for this. The way he tells it is not complicated. I mean, you can understand what he's talking about, and of course, the accompanying art is really cool. To learn about the Marvel way of drawing, you can see there. So basically, just like my teacher always tells me, you need to build things. Which I still haven't quite mastered yet, but we'll get there. So you have all of this You see how you need to build these things from simple shapes and then build on them. You see right there, it's like it make characters look way better. And then perspective, which I also have yet to master. I really need to work on that. See, this is a simple. No, not simple. It's told in a simple way that you can understand, even if you haven't been drawing that much, but you want to get into drawing. You can see it explain things in the illustrations. Again, more perspective. I'm just gonna skip a bit forward and close it because it's really hard to hold this open. You can see here, like this is how you need to start building it and then do everything on top. It explains you the difference. Oh, look at that one. That is amazing. And how to draw men and women. A section about the females was longer. Man, this is a big one. You can see how to make different expressions. It had a lot of information that my teacher already told me herself and taught me herself as well. This is how you make eyes properly and all that. Noses. Well, Marvel has seemed to have had quite the distinct way of drawing these things. I wonder if it's still the same today or not. I mean, again, this is the 70s, so art styles have evolved over the decades, so probably they look different, obviously, I would think. I haven't read many modern comics by Marvel, though, but I think it has changed. Just the type of lips I still do now. Look at that, the composition, and then there's the inking. Good old J. Jonah Jameson. Of course they would use JJ as an example of someone yelling and being pissed. Of course. It does fit him. Like you can see here this is how you first build the panels. Right here. You need to start like that and then build on. And if you're very good, you can even start with loose sketches instead. I mean, look. This is how you build it and everything. We're going to skip. And then we'll get to the inking. You need to know very well how to do inking. I've also learned a lot about the inker's work. So I have a new appreciation for them now. And I can understand also why artists also don't always ink their own work. So yeah, they demonstrate, how it works, how in inking you need to make the scene simple, understandable. Alright, let me close that. I love the back, look at Spidey. Here's some. That's really nice. Okay, let me put that properly back. Now, as Stanley tells us in the end, this did just, scratch the surface of all the things you need to learn how to do. But still, I'd say this is a good maybe place to start. Although, again, mind you, I'm not an expert in this. I don't know, maybe there's other books that are way better for this, but they probably at least help you with the basics of learning how to draw comics. If that's what you want to do, and as Mr. Lee tells us, you need to have the passion for it. So it's something you only go to if you're really passionate about it, which I agree. I have to agree on that one. It's not guaranteed to make you world famous. So the labor of love should be the reward itself. I probably said that wrong. But yeah, this was great. It was really entertaining with Mr. Stanley. That was great. He really did make everything entertaining and also kind of funny. And the man probably had one hell of a charm. So yeah, this was good. It was good, interesting. I understood most of what it told, but I will have to get back to this in the future. I obviously didn't pick up everything at the first read. And also, I'm not planning to yet start drawing comics. First, I want to figure out how to do figures. So for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be practicing me some stickmen. It actually kind of started. No, it's upside down. So yeah, this is the thing that I need to really learn how to do now. So my drawings look a lot better, at least. I learn the perspective in building, and then I'll attempt to draw a comic. I mean, there is a comic that I do want to draw, but I'll probably do it a bit differently. Also, I had a good part of how to make panels more dynamic, as well. That's something I'll need to remember. So yes, overall, this is a great read. I do recommend it. If you want to learn how to draw comics, at least for some basics, or if you want to be entertained by Stan Lee, also give it a read. Or if you want to look at some really cool illustrations, that as well. Alright folks, so that is it. Till next time, bye. Oh, and Excelsior.